First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while unto truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is World War III News Update. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners. Hope this help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a few news articles, but we'll start here first with this one. And it reads, it said, it's a RBC Ukraine. It said, expert says whether NATO can strike Russia preemptively and under what conditions. Let's get a little bit more. It says statement from top NATO commanders about the possibility of launching preemptive strike against Russia suggests a potential shift in alliance defense strategies and under certain conditions. Said the bloc may indeed consider such a move. So we'll stop it right there. So we're seeing right now that this, the war drums are beating. We're seeing that this war is constantly expanding. It's getting larger and larger. We're seeing all the major players are coming aboard now. We're seeing right now that that NATO is considering to striking Russia. We already knowing about the long range missiles that Biden had approved to for Ukraine to hit Russian targets. So now their retaliation. We already knowing about the IBCM missiles, without the nuclear head on it, warhead on it, that Russia had used. So these things are constantly intensify. War tensions are constantly growing. We seeing it's constantly intensify. It's constantly escalate. You know what I'm saying? So we knowing right now that the heathens are raging. So one thing about it is also it was reports that that NATO and France, and I think Germany, if I'm not mistaken, that they'll get ready to send troops into Ukraine. So we're seeing how it's expanding. We're seeing that the Lord is gathering the nation. These things are constantly picking up. When they say peace and safety, peace and security, then total destruction will come upon you. So a lot of people right now are getting ready for for this Thanksgiving Day, relaxing in their leaves, not aware of what's going on in the world, these global events, these world changing events that's getting ready to happen right before your eyes, So one thing about it, the Lord said, these things will come upon you, suddenly. So that's why we always got to be watching. That's why the Lord set up watchmen, prophets, that constantly warning you of all these events, these biblical, prophetic events that's taking place right before our eyes. So we seeing right here that these things right here, we already know that this NATO, we're talking about the 10 horns, this is already Bible prophecies, it's constantly lining up. So right now you already know that Russia is getting ready to go nuclear. It's already rumors of them, saying it's possibility, that they could go nuclear. Also, it's saying that they changed their nuclear doctrine, so a lot of things are constantly changing up. The heathens are raging. A lot of things are coming to pass. Also, right, we already know that Biden said that, that he's going to not Biden, Trump, Salakia, saying that he's going to stop this war in Ukraine. Also, he said he's going to stop the war between Iran and Israel. But, one thing about it, he's not going to be able to stop Bible prophecy. The Lord is in perfect control. And one thing about it, if he gets into office. So let's read this once again. It says here, an expert says whether NATO can strike Russia preemptively and under what conditions. So we already knowing that, the UK, they're constantly, all of them is constantly right now bucking up against Russia. But we already knowing at some point they shall burn the whore. So we already know that these nations are constantly rising up. We already know that these alliances are constantly picking up. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing it over here in North Korea. Let's get this one here. We got another one here with North Korea. I just seen this here. Let's get this one about North Korea. It says North Korea expanding weapon facilities and make missiles for Russia to strike Ukraine. So wow, you already knowing what this is all about. We already knowing that North Korea is already has sent their elite soldiers alongside with Russia to fight in Ukraine. Now they said that North Korea expanding of their weapons facility or their weapon plant to make missiles for Russia to strike Ukraine. And also it's already reports that they're saying that in return that Russia would give them this defense missile technology. So we seeing right now that these things are coming into play. We're living in some perilous time. A lot of our people right now relaxing in their leads, unaware, not watching the signs of the time. And also they don't know what time that we're living in. Any given day, things could go nuclear. All hell could break loose. So we already know. Let's read a little bit of this. It said North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has visited the facility several times, and the state media has previously talked about the tactile missile being mass-produced at the location. Let's see here. It said North Korea is reportedly expanding a weapons plant that manufactures missiles that Russia has used in the war against Ukraine. So we're seeing these things are picking up. Everyone is getting ready to use their missiles or arrows. We coming upon these times. Let's get another one here. Just a quick news report. Let's get this one here. It says here. Let's get this one here. We already heard about Biden. He said that. Told us about this ceasefire in between Israel and I think Lebanon. So let's read this right quick. It says here by NPR, Middle East Crisis explained. It says the world welcomes the Israel Hezbollah ceasefire, but worries remain. So we already know right now. I think they decided around January, some part of January of next year, if this happened. But we already know when they say peace and safety, peace and security, we already know sudden destruction will come upon them. Also, we're keeping our eyes on Israel. Also we already know that the things are constantly brewing between Iran and Israel. We already know there's America get involved between Iran and Israel. We already know that Russia and China will get involved. So these things are getting ready to spiral out of control. And one thing about it, the Lord is constantly putting the chess pieces together, and this thing could go down like a domino effect. So we won't read in this, but this right here, talking about a ceasefire. It will not be no ceasefire. The Lord is getting ready to let these prophecies just fly off the page. That's another one I want to get. Let's see here. Let me go back out. Let me see. Can I go back out? It's another one I was trying to get. And let me see. If I can't get it, we'll move forward. Let's see here. I think it's over here. Let's go to this search bar here. Something I'm trying to get out of here. Right here. Taiwan blockade or something else I've seen. So we're seeing that the war drums are constantly beating. Rumors of wars are all over the place. Let's see here. It said Taiwan's unveiled plans to cope with potential Chinese military blockade. So we already know there's already been reports for several months, or even last year, about that China is getting ready to invade Taiwan. So we already know these things are constantly picking up. We already know that America is spreading their military capability is spreading very thin. We already knowing how it's going to end. We already know that right now, America is fighting a losing battle. So we seeing right now, these things are constantly picking up. Nations are rising against nations. Tensions over here, tensions over there. And also we constantly are hearing in the news on a regular basis. Things could go nuclear. So we living in some very dangerous time. While a lot of people are constantly playing games, we seeing that these prophecies were speaking loud and clear. It's time to seek the Lord, because one thing about it, we seeing that we're here. So now let's get this quick precept, and before we start today's video. I have one video, then we'll start today's video. It says here, Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8 said, the prophet that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. Verse 9, it said, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord had truly seen him. So one thing about these prophecies are coming, becoming full tuition. They coming what becoming what reality. You know, they coming what becoming what truth. They are manifesting right before your eyes. So all the game sales and all the one that's this unbelief is getting ready to be a thing of the past. So let's read this in the NLT right here, verse 8. It said, the ancient prophets who preceded you and me spoke against many nations, always warning of war, disaster, and disease. That's what we constantly warn you about. This what World War III, warn you about disasters and calamities, all sorts of world changing events get ready to happen before our disease. You know, they already talking about all different type of viruses, this and that. We are around what flu season. You know, so it could be another what pandemic. You know, another what C19. You know, hey, we already know that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. We constantly warn you left and right. So the ancient prophets right now are here today, you know, so the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. So one thing about it is that right now, in that day, they shall know that a prophet was among you. We constantly warning you left and right. We ain't giving a damn about no Thanksgiving. We ain't giving a damn about no damn turkey dressing, all the trimmings that go along. All we giving a damn about is getting the hell out of here. That's the only thing we are concerned about, getting the hell out of this nightmare. So now, let's start today's video. After the video, we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
Here goes the World War III news. Oh, shit. Definitely seems like we're getting too close to the inevitable. Let's start off with NATO's preparing for potential preemptive strikes on Russia. A lot more members in the alliance is saying they need to do more to protect themselves and to protect each other. Now that a Russian spy ship has been spotted in NATO waters, the United States is now sending their aircraft carrier a little closer to Russia to kind of deter them. This could either deter them or make things worse. We have a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon set to take place, and it's supposed to be ending, I think, January the 26th or somewhere around that time. Let's see how long it stays into effect. Now Israel wants to focus on Iran, so maybe something big between Iran and Israel is brewing up, because I know that Iran is supposed to be doing the promised Operation 3 pretty soon. We also have North Korea that's expanding a weapons plant that makes missiles that's used by Russia. This is more than likely to deepen their partnership. You know, North Korea's doing everything they can to help Russia out with their war, even sending troops, so I don't expect nothing less. And of course, as it was said yesterday, North Korea might be getting submarines or missile technology in return for this. Taiwan is reportedly getting worried about a blockade from China, and now they're saying they reserve the right, if China decides to do a blockade, to destroy the ships or pretty much take action immediately to stop the blockade, which would pretty much be an immediate war with China if that was to happen. Here's the one saying that North Korea may receive missiles or submarine technology from Russia, and that Russia and China might share the same type of technology, which is pretty crazy to think about. Can you imagine what two superpowers could come up with? What kind of technology they could come up with together? Imagine if we had an equal that we could learn from. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be pretty wild. That's response to attack on troops with strike on Syria. They just hit Iranian-aligned militia in Syria because they were attacking American bases, which has been happening a lot lately, ever since the war with Lebanon and Gaza started with Israel. And it's being reported that the British troops are equipped with long-range anti-drone guns and GPS jammers as they hunt for these guys that are flying drones over their bases. Well, American bases, I should say. That's definitely not good. Anyways, this is the latest. I got a live coming next.
So now let's start here in the book of Luke chapter 21. Just a very quick lesson. We'll get about one or two and then we'll close out. So just a quick news update. So we're seeing that where we at, things, world tensions is constantly rising. You know, things are constantly happening on a fast pace. And that's why we got the mental law. You know, we constantly standing on our watch. Or we constantly stand on fire for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So let's start in Luke chapter 21 and verse 9 said, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotion, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. So one thing about it, that's what we're hearing left and right, all sorts of commotion, all sorts of nations constantly bucking up against one another. All sorts of warnings, all sorts of precaution. Things are constantly happening, but we at the beginning of sorrow. Let's read in the NLT. It says, when you said it said and when you hear of wars and insurrection, don't panic. Yes, these things must take place first, but the end won't follow immediately. So we in the birth pains right now. So we seeing right now, we seeing we in the birth pain, contractions, things, like a travailing woman right now. So we already knowing that, we're in that transition to power. We seeing it right before our eyes. So these things are happening. Let's read verse 10. It said, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom. So that's exactly what we're seeing left and right. And also we know that America is very much divided. We're constantly going to see how this go. If Biden get into office, we're already seeing that, if Trump get into office, you're knowing that Biden is trying to go out with a bang, and he constantly making declarations of war. So we already know that, hey man, World War III has begun. These things are going to constantly pick up. We are here. It is at the door, whether you will believe it or not. And a lot of people right now are drinking and being merry in the house of feasting. In the middle of the Lord, we're constantly keeping our silent, constantly warning you left and right of all these offending things. Let's get one more. Let's go here to First Thessalonians chapter 5, and we get verse 3. First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. Let me go back. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So one thing about it, that's what we hearing left and right, ceasefire. We constantly hearing that DJ Donald Trump saying that, he's going to stop the war in Ukraine. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He's not going to do a damn thing. He's only going to do the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So let's read this in the NLT. Verse 3, First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3 said, when people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman labor pains begin, and there will be no escape. So when this time of trouble come, it's no escaping, that fire, that laser chariot fire, also that those IBCM missiles, we're very close, to this time, man. Things are getting ready to pick up. We're living in an exciting time and also some dark, perilous time, It's getting ready to be a nuclear exchange, And one thing about that, America will be totally destroyed. We're constantly warning you, things about to get real. So now, let's go to our last and final strip. Let's go into Luke chapter 21. Luke chapter 21, and we'll close out here in verse 34. Just a quick lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Let's see here. Let's go here. Let's start here. And sorry about all the scrolling. It's taking me a minute to get down here. It's a lot of good meat in there, but we're going to start it right here, and we'll read down. Luke chapter 21 and verse 34 says, and take heed to yourself, lest at any time your heart be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that the day come upon you unawares. And one thing about it, that, a lot of people right now, are just relaxing. A lot of people are just, thinking that, everything is fine, everything is love. Don't get caught up in the ways of this world. Watch, constantly watch. It said that, watch, take heed. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, we are here. We're in that time, redeem the time wisely, man, because these things are jumping off left and right. We're not worried about these damn wicked holidays. Verse 35 said, for as a snare or a trap shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. So it's going to be a global event that you have never seen before. The hour of temptation, Jacob's trouble, like in verse 35 in the NLT said, like a trap, for that day will come upon everyone living on the earth, a global event. Everyone is getting ready to be tried. Everyone is getting ready to be affected. And the only one who will make it out here alive is the elect, the house of David, the true believers of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Verse 36 said, watch ye therefore, and pray always that ye may be able to that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai said once again, it said, watch. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, pray always that you be accounted worthy to escape. And how will you escape? You know, how will you be able to get out of here? Oh, those what they ignorantly call UFO or UAPs, you know what I'm saying? They're chariots of the Most High, the clouds. The Lord's getting ready to come with the thousands of heaven very soon. We're very close to these times, boy. We're living in some very exciting time, you know. Rejoice ye heaven. We are almost at the end of this nightmare. You know, all we got to do is keep believing, keep trusting, you know, keep the faith. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to show up, and we are very close, you know what I'm saying? And you know, these right now, you know, we're knowing that any given day that all hell could break loose. We are very close. Pray without ceasing. Redeem the time wise. Be circumspect, knowing what time that we're living in. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is World War III News Update. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rikah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.